Some people let rage consume them. This guy helps it consume others. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we will explore the comic book origins of Atrocitus.
I am an enemy to all who serve the self-appointed guardians of the universe.
Then you are an enemy to me.
As with most comic book characters, there are often reimaginings and different versions to a character's past. We have chosen to primarily follow the storyline which unfolded in 2008's Green Lantern, numbers 28 to 34, and Final Crisis Rage of the Red Lanterns, number 1, which was expanded upon in 2011's Red Lanterns, number 1.
Lord Atrocitus, Razor is back.
He's at Battery Square. He's about to recharge his ring.
Zelias, prepare a proper welcome for our Razor.
Atrocitus is an alien being who created the Red Lantern Corps, enemies of the Guardians of the Universe. The Red Lanterns are powered by red light, which in turn is powered by and feeds on uncontrollable rage. That rage is frequently used against the members of the Green Lantern Corps, and is a power that rivals that of their own.
I have seen your future, Abensur, and it is death.
We all die, and I do not fear death.
Atrocitus' origin story spread across many issues of a tale which also retold of how Hal Jordan became Earth's Green Lantern. The whole saga takes many different threads, but here are the basics of how Atrocitus came to be and how he created the notorious Red Lanterns.
With blood and rage of crimson red, we fill men's souls with darkest dread.
On the planet Eastmalt, the Green Lantern, known as Abensur, was consulting with two demons named Kull and Atrocitus. They and a handful of other demons, known as the Five Inversions, were imprisoned on Eastmalt by the Guardians of the Universe, the creators of the Green Lantern Corps. Abensur was trying to find out more information about the dire prophecies the Five Inversions had predicted, including the prophecy known as Blackest Night.
The green light will be extinguished, and there will be left a new core, a core of fear.
Atrocitus let it be known that the Blackest Night meant the destruction of all life in the universe. It was also prophesied that Abensur's ring would fail him when he needed the most. Abensur released Atrocitus and, using a spaceship, journeyed with him to Earth, hoping to learn how to prevent this catastrophe. But Atrocitus had tricked Sur. By instilling fear in him, the Green Lantern's ring was unable to protect him, and Atrocitus escaped. On Earth, Atrocitus sought out a human named William Hand, who would play a role in bringing about the Blackest Night. Hand was a young man who worked in a mortuary and seemed to have a fondness for dead bodies. Meanwhile, Hal Jordan had taken over as Green Lantern of Earth's sector of the galaxy and had met another Green Lantern named Sinestro. A message from Abensur informed them that eons ago, the Guardians had created a massive android peacekeeping force known as the Manhunters. The Manhunters were created to be ruled by logic and not emotion. Unfortunately, this meant that they eventually deduced that the only way to ensure peace was to destroy all life. You know, that old chestnut.
I am going to miss you, Razor. Schedule his execution. We'll make an example of this one.
They massacred untold trillions of lives in one sector before the Guardians had stopped them. Only the Five Inversions had survived, and Atrocitus and company had then sworn revenge against the Guardians, prompting their imprisonment on Eastmalt. Before they could act on this information, the Green Lanterns discovered Atrocitus making contact with William Hand. The monster wished to give Hand the power by which he could one day bring about the Blackest Night. Hal and Sinestro defeated Atrocitus, but not before he passed that power on to Hand. Atrocitus was once again imprisoned on Eastmalt, but this would turn out to be a huge mistake. Atrocitus learned that by sacrificing Kull, he could bring about the creation of the Red Lantern Battery. Rage replaced Atrocitus's blood, and he was reborn as the first Red Lantern. A few years later, some details were added to this character's backstory. We learned that the Manhunters massacre of Sector 666 was not an accident, and that the Guardians were responsible.
They said, "Kneel before us, and you will want for nothing." But we would not worship them, and their wrath was deep and terrible. The Blue Devils unleashed their automaton Manhunters, and the Guardians' soulless Avengers snuffed out every life, stealing every breath, and stilling every heart.
One of the Guardians, Krona, had programmed the Manhunters to commit the massive slaughter, hoping to prove that emotional beings were a better choice for a police force, albeit in the most detrimental and roundabout way possible.
Most of you know Krona's story, how he defied authority and created the antimatter universe billions of years ago. He nearly annihilated all of creation.
Readers also learned that ages ago, Atrocitus was named Atros and was a well-intentioned psychologist with a loving family. But when he saw the Manhunters kill his family right in front of him, he was transformed into a living cauldron of rage. Few characters in comics are as imposing as Atrocitus. As the living embodiment of pure, unadulterated rage, he is a force that is difficult to stop and impossible to reason with. Perhaps he touches a chord in readers who wish they could let out a little bit of rage of their own, although hopefully not with the same devastating results.
Hello, Guardians.
Atrocitus!
Are you a fan of the Raging Red Lantern, formerly known as Atrocitus? For more comic book origins, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Finish them. I don't want prisoners.